Today we continue Ariyavasa Sutta. First we have to recite Ariyavasa Sutta Pali. Can you follow me? Dasa ime bhagave Ariyavasa. Yeriya Awasain Suwa Awasandiwa Awasai Sandiwa Kadame Dasa Ida Begwe Begu Pinjinga Webi no Hodi Chalinga Samanagato Ekareko Chidura Basino Panona Pijiga Sijo Samawaya Satisano Anawila Singapore Pasada Gaya Singhara Sui Moda Jada Sui Moda Binya. We recite together. Dasa ime bhagave Ariyavasa Yeriya Awasai Suwa Awasandiwa Awasai Sandiwa Kadame Dasa Ida Bhagave Bhegu Pinjinga Webina Hodi Chalinga Samanagada Ekareka Chadura Basina Panona Vijega Sija Samavaya Satisana Anawina Singapore Pasada Gaya Singara Sui Moda Jada Sui Moda Binya. Mahasisya aphorism, follow me. To abandon the five factors, to be fulfilled with the six factors, and one protection, to depend on the false supports, and to dispel personal truths, to be free from searching, to have pure thoughts, to calm the in and out breath, to have a well-liberated mind, and well-liberated wisdom. The fully enlightened Buddha expounded the 10 features of Ariyavasa. Previous Buddhas such as Vipassi, Sikhi, Visabu, Kagusanda, Konagamana, Kassapa, and all his disciples built up this Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. All these previous Buddha practice these 10 Ariyavasa Dhamma, and all previous Buddha and his disciples dwelled in this Ariyavasa. All these Buddhas and disciple Ariyas followed this Satipatthana path. And in the Ariyavasa, one protection is sati, mindfulness. So all these Ariya took protection of mindfulness. So in the same way, now yogis are building up the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. You are practicing this Ariyavasa Dhamma because you want to dwell in this Ariyavasa. And you are taking the protection of mindfulness, sataraka, protections of mindfulness. And also you're very familiar with Ekayana. You are following this Satipatthana path. So Ekareka, one protection, Ekayana, one way, one Satipatthana way, one mindfulness way. You are following this Satipatthana path. You are taking this sati protection. So Ekayana, the meaning is, this is the only way to reach Nibbana, the end of suffering, the distractions of mental defilements. And it is the only way to Nibbana, where there is no aging, sickness, death, and all suffering. So Ekayana, you are following this path. Eka one, Ayana way. So this path you are trotting, this is a single way that does not branch off. There are no branches in this way. You are trotting, you are following, so that you can follow this way with assurance from beginning to deliverance. You are following this Satipatthana path all the time. But this way has to be trodden alone. So in the practice of meditation, yogi are making this journey alone. You have no companions. You understand, I come to this world alone, and finally I have to leave this world alone. Then you are practicing Satipatthana practice. You are walking this Satipatthana way. You are making this journey of Satipatthana alone without companion. Yogi may be in the group in this intensive retreat, but actually yogis are going your own way. You are alone. nobody is with you, nobody can give this concentration, nobody can give his concentration, nobody can give her concentration or wisdom to us, and we cannot give any of our concentration and wisdom to anybody else. So although we may be in a group, we are really practicing alone. So this journey you are walking, you are trudging, but it is the only way, the way to be trodden alone. Ekayana, you cherish this way because this way is the way of the one. The way of the one means the way of the excellent one, the way discovered by the fully enlightened Buddha. Ekayana, you are walking this path because it is the way that leads only to one destination. You walk in this path and surely you will reach to Nibbana anytime. Due to your effort, due to your mindfulness, due to your concentration, you will reach this Nibbana. So when you go along this way, you will surely reach your destination. Nibbana will be the only destination you reach when you go along this way, this Satipatthana way. Ekayana, this practice is only existing in this Buddha dispensation. So because of this, only existing in this Buddha dispensation, it is called Ekayana. You cannot find this method in other places, others you can find, you can meet this path, this practice only in this Buddha dispensation. Because of this, it is called Ekayana. So you are taking this protection of mindfulness, you are walking this Satipatthana path, you are practicing this Satipatthana way. So today we continue Ekareka, one protection of mindfulness. So yogi must have developed mindfulness, Satipatthana, by observing every psychophysical phenomena manifested at these six senses: eye do, ear do, nose do, tongue do, body do, and mind do. That means every seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, the same. That means every psychophysical phenomena. That means every five aggregates. You are observing. So vipassana practice is very wonderful. It is just to be mindful of any mental and physical phenomena manifested. Just be mindful. It is very a wonderful practice. So when you are mindful of them concurrently, yogi will understand what you should understand. And this practice is not complicated. It is very, very simple to practice. So we went to the teacher and we took guidance of meditation. Teacher teach us in a very simple language. They do not teach, you have to reflect or analyze detailed phenomena, detailed process of Namarupa, Chaita, Chaitasika, Dhatu, Kalapa, mind and matter, consciousness, mental states, elements, compounds. They do not teach in this way. They teach the practitioner to understand the method practically or to contribute to their attainment of empirical insight knowledge. So the same as our teacher, we teach how to develop mindfulness in simple and plain language according to Satipatthana Sutta. Indeed, Buddha himself taught this practice in a very simple language, Pali language, Gichandowa, Gichamiti, Pajanati. Titawa, Titomiti, Pajanati, Nisinowa, Nisinomiti, Pajanati, Sianowa, Sianomiti, Pajanati. When going, practitioner clearly knows I am going. So there is a sentence spoken by the Buddha himself in the Satipatthana Sutta. It is very simple. When going, practitioner is just to know it clearly by noting, I am going. Buddha did not teach the method in technical terms like when going, a practitioner clearly knows psychophysical phenomena, namarupa. When going, practitioner clearly knows elements. When practitioner goes, a practitioner knows elements of physical compound clearly. Buddha did not teach in this way. Instead, Buddha gave a very simple instruction. When going, a practitioner clearly knows, I am going. So in Pali, Kichami, here in this statement, we need to pay special attention to the verb Kichami. So many Pali language you use it. Buddham Saranam Kichami and Avirohomi Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipattiya Buddham Bujemi. So each suffix me indicates the first person, that is Amma Yoga. It denotes its subject, I, that is understood here. So literally it has to be translated as I go or I am going. In Pali grammar, it would be Gichasi. You go. In the second person, Tuma Yoga. And Gichati, Viharati, Kaya Kaya Nupasi, Viharati dwells, who dwells, practitioner, Bhikkhu Viharati, Kaya Kaya Nupasi, Viharati. Bhikkhu dwells contemplating the body in the body. How dwell? Contemplating the body in the body. So Viharati, Gichati, the subject of the third person can be anything except I, we, and you. So if it's a third person, it can be translated with the subject understood according to the context. In this way, a person goes, a human goes, a deities go, a man goes, or mind and body goes, and so on. So here, Kichami is a first person verb, which must be translated as I go or I am going. So if you study Pali language, you may understand. So Gichami has to be translated as I go, but not he goes or she goes or psychophysical go. So accordingly, the most venerable Lady Sayadaw in his Anatta Divini gave instruction on how to observe the four Iriyabata, bodily postures, in this way. When going, you have to note every step as I go, with your mind focus on the feet. Not a single step should be taken without mindfulness. So very clear translation from Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Lady Sayadaw translated. So this instruction was rejected by a book. So that book criticized almost all the Vipassana methods known in Burma. First, that book rejects Venerable Lady Sayadaw's instruction to note I go on the ground that it suggests the conceptual sense of I, soul, or self. If you reject, actually your rejection is tantamount to disproving the words of the Buddha. Because Venerable Lady Sayadaw just translated the Buddha was Gichami. And no Pali scholar will deny that his translation is grammatically correct and precise. So we don't want you to have any doubt about the Buddha's simple instruction in regard to the Satipatthana method of meditation. I go, in Pali, Gichami. Here the personal pronoun I is used in one of the three different senses. So number one, I is used in a sense of soul. I is used in the sense of deity, ego, illusion. That is number one. Number two, I is used in the sense of mana, conceit, in the sense of supremacy. And number three, I is used in the sense of daily usage, vahara. So three sense. In the sense of deity, ego illusion, in the sense of conceit, mana, supremacy, and in the sense of vahara, in the sense of daily usage. So in the Lady Sayadaw instruction, the I here is used in the sense of daily usage, but not in the sense of soul or supremacy. Even Buddha and Arahants use I as a conventional term. So which cannot be condemned as reflections of ego, illusion, or conceit. That is why a teacher encouraged the meditators to note in daily language. You have to note going, going, I'm going, I'm going. You have to note going, going with every step you take. And so on. Although using the conventional terms, when your mindfulness is continuous and your concentration is built up, you will discern beyond the conceptual forms the ultimate phenomena that are arising and vanishing moment by moment. So when you go in, you have to note going, going. Don't reflect and don't analyze anything. Just try to cover the going process very concurrently. Because of this, noting going, going is totally cover all the process. And also you can use your own language. You can use French, you can use English, or if you are Asian, you can use Asian language, your language, to cover the real phenomena, to capture the real phenomena. So because of this, Buddha method only just note going, going when you are going. When you sit, you have to note sitting, sitting. Try to cover all the sitting process when you are sit. So when going mindfully, you will become aware of psychophysical, aware of physical movement constitutively generated by intention to go, both arising and vanishing moment by moment. So now you cover the going process very thoroughly, and you become aware of that movement part by part, and generated by the intention to go. They are separatedly arising and vanishing moment by moment. All the process, you cover it when you really pay attention to the going. Then yogi will find ultimate phenomena beyond the conceptual form or shape of your body. In due course of time, yogi will become aware not only of noted phenomena, but also the noting mind itself. The mind is directing and knowing the movement, arising and vanishing moment by moment. So now yogi are practicing very precisely, and you will experience this simple method. And teacher guarantee you will see this fact by yourself when you practice very precisely and meticulously. So here are the Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw experience. The most Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw confessed that actually he don't blame anybody for having no faith in this method, because these people have not practiced it yet. Of course, it is sensible for them not to believe it before they have ever tried it. So Mahasi Sayadaw said, to speak frankly, he himself did not have faith in it at one time. In 1931, when Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw got just 8 vasa, that is, vasa means 8 years of monkhood, he heard that Mingon Jedwin Sayadaw Phyaji in the city of Tato in Lower Myanmar was teaching mindfulness meditation according to the Satipatthana Sutta. Then, much to his surprise, that Mingon Sayadaw Phyaji instructed meditators to note going when going. He instructed meditators when standing, note standing, standing. When sitting, note sitting, sitting. When reclining, note reclining, reclining. When bending, note bending, bending. When stretching, note stretching, stretching. When eating, note eating, eating, and so on. Mahasi Sayadaw thought Mingon Sayadaw's instruction was quite strange, because it did not deal with any ultimate phenomena. It did not deal with ultimate phenomena such as mind and body, nama rupa, anicca, dukkha, anatta, the impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and no soul. the instruction did not deal with any ultimate phenomena. So Mahasi Sayadaw thought in this way. But Mahasi Sayadaw reconsidered in this way. Well, Mingo Sayadawji is really well versed in Bali text, and he teaches this Satipatthana method after he himself practiced it thoroughly for years. Maybe Mingo Sayadaw instruction would be correct, and we try under his guidance. Mahasi Sayadaw decided to try. Even then, Mahasi Sayadaw could not appreciate his instruction quite well within first 28 days or 30 days of his retreat. Because Mahasi Sayadaw did not practice wholeheartedly. Now the present yogi, they have not too much spiritual knowledge, but when they practice, they take just 4 days or 5 days or 6 days, and they can develop good concentration and insight knowledge into mind and body, and insight into impermanent suffering and non-self. As for Mahasi Sayadaw, he could not make any progress. Even after a month or so, not to mention within a few days. What was the reason? Obviously, Mahasi Sayadaw did not have strong faith in the practice. He did not put enough effort in it. Doubt, Vijigajja, is one of the obstacles to our practice. It is important to get rid of this doubt, and Mahasi Sayadaw simply wasted a lot of time with skeptical analysis. And Mahasi Sayadaw analyzed in this way. Now Mingo Sayadaw teach, observe such behavior as going, bending, stretching, when you go, when you bend, when you stretch. It's all about the piñati, a notion of conceptual form or shape. But these observations of such behavior has nothing to do with ultimate truth. Mahasi Sayadaw analyzed in this way. And he analyzed, perhaps this observation is just a basic step. So with such skeptical analysis, Mahasi Sayadaw expected Mingo Sayadawji to teach him later the observations of ultimate phenomena. So Mahasi Sayadaw simply wasted his time without putting sufficient effort in his practice. However, later when he was going on with the practice, Mahasi Sayadaw gradually understood from his experience that the observations of mental and physical behavior like going, bending, stretching, thinking, and so on was not only the beginning stage of the practice. Observations of mental and observations of every mental and physical behavior is middle of the practice and final stage of the practice. So in this way, Master Sayadaw realized that the attentive observation or bare awareness was all about the practice, and there is nothing further to learn about it. That is why Yogi recited every day, Ekaya no ayam bhikkhve mego satana visuddhiya nibbanasa siddhikiriyaya. Contemplating the body, contemplating the feeling, contemplating the consciousness, contemplating the Dhamma is the only way to realize Nibbana. So Buddha described this method as the only way. So in the beginning of the practice, yogis are just to note roughly mental and physical behaviors such as going, raising, pushing forward, dropping the foot, bending the limb, stretching it out, and so on. However, later, with continuous mindfulness and stronger concentration, yogi will become aware of all the phenomena that are manifested at six sendos. Now, yogi gradually become aware of all the phenomena that are manifested as six sendos, even blinking of the eyes, they know, physical movement. A yogi can clearly see mental state arise and vanish one after another, like rosary beads dropping down one after another. First, an object is manifested, and then the mind comes out to note it. The mind jumps to that object, and there comes the awareness of that noting mind itself. And thus, yogi will see an object and the awareness of it both disappear constitutively. Some yogi capture more. They can even see, they can even capture an object and 2 or 3 constitutive stages of mindfulness disappearing. Yogi is first aware of an object and in turn aware of that awareness, and aware again of the second awareness. So yogi can thus see an object and 2 or 3 constitutive stages of mindfulness disappearing. Then there would be no room left for the illusory sense of permanence, pressure, and passing. It is continuously disappearing. So yogi cannot see the person. Yogi can capture only the phenomena. There's no room left for the illusory sense of permanent, etc. So that is the Satipatthana path. The best path, the noble path that the Buddha taught us. And Master Sayadaw mentioned again, yet there are some people who criticize this Satipatthana method without giving a try to the practice. That is really outrageous. They sound like arguing against a certain individual, but actually against the Buddha as such holy teaching as Satipatthana Sutta. So Venerable Master Sayadaw have been teaching Vipassana according to Satipatthana Sutta since the year of 1938, before Master Sayadaw moved to Yangon from his native town, Shibu. Master Sayadaw kept teaching the same method as always. No matter whoever say whatever they want, Master Sayadaw's faith has never wavered. Why? Because it is based on his own experience. So in this regard, Master Sayadaw said, an event soon after Master Sayadaw moved to Yangon, someone started writing in a newspaper article criticizing the meditation Master Sayadaw had been teaching. And Master Sayadaw had no idea why that person did like this. Probably he made an attempt to damage the way Master Sayadaw teach. But Master Sayadaw spoke nothing in response to his criticism. Master Sayadaw just went on his way, simply assuming that those yogis who like his articles would go and practice under his guidance. But those yogis who like Satipatthana way would come and practice under Satipatthana guidance. However, before long, that newspaper was no longer issued. And Master Sayadaw said he did not know why, but that was good for those practitioners who want to practice a correct method. Even then, that person did not give up, but kept attacking Master Sayadaw by writing a book. Master Sayadaw did not bother about whatever he is doing. This holy teaching belongs to the Buddha. We are just happy if someone promotes this teaching. We are happy if someone propagates this true teaching. To speak hypothetically, we would be even happier if someone would teach Dhamma by exercising Sakya power, so that people all over the world would gain stronger faith in the Dhamma. On the other hand, it is really disappointing that someone has never practiced but just criticize the correct method taught based on thorough practice and experience. It is really disappointing. So we have to instruct our yogi to be mindful of whatever phenomena manifested at the six senses. However, in the beginning, when we are not able to be mindful of many phenomena, we need to be mindful of gross bodily behavior, especially rising and falling of the abdomen, sitting, touching. So actually, the rising and falling is not only the object for them to note, but there are many others objects to be noted, such as thoughts, feelings, and bodily actions, many things. The whole day, many things to be noted. So in due course of time, yogis following this instruction attentively and respectfully, they become aware of all the phenomena manifested at the six senses, such as seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. In addition to all the bodily actions they do, like bending and stretching their limbs and so on. Then they will be guided by mindfulness, which is the key feature of the Ariyavasa, the abode of the noble ones. So Sutta Rakina Chitasa Samanagato Hodi. Some yogi advise teacher have to give a comprehensive course of lessons on the characteristics of mind and body and their impermanent suffering and non-self ahead of time, so that yogi can understand the method better and make progress faster. Actually, by learning such lesson, we can attain no empirical insight knowledge, but spiritual knowledge that may lead to preconceived idea and false impression of what to experience. So that would be counterproductive, because people would think that you yogi see impermanence, yogi see suffering and non-self based on a preconception implanted in them by their teacher. So people would think in this way. So they would say that no wonder you will see what you imagine. But that is not true of yogis practicing here. We encourage yogi about psychophysical phenomena and their impermanent suffering and non-self. But We never teach any yogis to contemplate purposely. You have to see Namarupa as impermanent, suffering and non-self and ugly, etc. Instead, we have to teach them to observe any manifested phenomena as they really are. When you hear, you note hearing. When you happy, you note happy. When you think, you have to note thinking. We do not encourage when you hear, you know arising and disappearing impermanent nature of the sound. We do not teach. We just teach when you note, when you hear, you have to note hearing, hearing. So when you know hearing, hearing, and then you know hearing is the sound arising and disappearing. Eardrums also disappear, the whole body disappear. Hearing consciousness also disappear. They arise and disappear with your own knowledge. You will see empirically by noting them at the present moment. So meditators observing object as they really are, voluntarily report their own experience that they come to see mind and body separately, and they find both noted phenomena and the noting mind itself disappear moment by moment. Some meditators report very clearly they are really disappearing in their eyes, not imagine. So their experience indicates empirically inside knowledge that can arise only through practical observation. According to their report, we have to say we would describe their experience in technical terms with reference to the Pali text like, your observation is true. That observation, that knowing is the inside knowledge into physical phenomena. That is the inside knowledge of mental phenomena. That is the inside knowledge of impermanence and so on. So that is why we have to say what our meditators report are your own experience, but not preconception. So meditators see them psychophysical phenomena and their changes very clearly as if they were on their palms. So later when they can note every object manifested, they will see those objects and the noting mind itself arise and disappear successively. So they will thus see one object after another arise and disappear along with the minds that note them each. So in this way, yogi will see noted object and noting mind beyond the conceptual form or shapes of their bodies, heads, limbs, and so on, vanishing in pair, moment by moment. So yogi report that all they see is psychophysical phenomena and their constant changes, but nothing else. Then we have to say, we let them know that Your experience indicates the inside knowledge into vanishing. Your knowledge is Binga's jnana stage. Because walking, no leg, just a movement, disappearing, always changing, rising and falling, no abdomen at all. Just the separate movement, coming and going very continuously. So teacher never tell in advance what you are going to experience in the course of our practice. So meditator gains the experience by noting phenomena concurrently, meticulously. You can gain these experiences. So many meditators who have developed such empirical knowledge, it is through continuous mindfulness that your vipassana insight knowledge gradually develops with the insight characterized by equanimity. So we will explain how remarkable that insight knowledge is when we deal with 6 kinds of equanimity. So the mindfulness developed by an ordinary person, Pudujana, will be excellent when he or she becomes a Sotapanna. So in the same way, the mindfulness developed by Sri Antara will become even more excellent when he or she becomes a once returner or non-returner, anagami. So of course, it will become perfect when you become an arahant. You can be aware of every phenomena. So referring to such mindfulness, Buddha said, Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu sattarakena cittasa samanagato hoti. So here in this holy order, a practitioner, one who practice and see the danger in samsara, who destroy mental defilements, possess a mind guarded by mindfulness. So yogi should be very pleased that you are building up the Ariyavasa, you are practicing the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones, and you are following this path. And by building this Ariyavasa, one day you can finish to build this Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. So we will continue next time. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Ariyavasa Dhamma, by following this Ekayana, this Satipatthana path, by noting, rising, falling, sitting, touching, seeing, hearing, continuously and meticulously, may all yogis realize the real peace. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. Ekayano ayam bhikkhave mego sadanam visodhiyam Sogabari Devanam Samadegamaya Doga Domanasanam Atingamaya Nyayasa Adigamaya Nivanasa Jigiriyaya Yadidam Jadaram Sadibadana Dame Jadaram Ida Bhagawe Bhikkhu Kaye Kayanubasi Viharati Adabi Sambhajana Saddhima Vinaya Loge Avijja Domanasam Vedanasu Vedananubasi Viharati Atabi Sambhajana Saddhima Vinaya Loge Abhijja Domanasam Chaite Chaitanuvasi Viharati Adabi Sambhajana Saddhima Vinaya Loge Avijja Domanasam Dhammesu Dhammanubasi Viharati Adabi Sambhajana Saddhima Vinaya Loge Avijja Domanasam. English translation. This is the only way, bhikkhus, for the purifications of beings. For the realizations of Nirvana, namely the four foundations of mindfulness. What are the four? Here in this teaching, bhikkhus, bhikkhus just contemplating the body in the body, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Just contemplating the feelings, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Contemplating the consciousness, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Bhikkhu just contemplating the Dhamma in the Dhammas, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. honoring and sharing merits. Imaya Dhamma Nu Dhamma Patipatiya Bodham Bujemi Imaya Dhamma Nu Dhamma Patipatiya Dhamma Bujemi Imaya Dhamma Nu Dhamma Patipatiya Sangha Bujemi Imaya Dhamma Nu Dhamma Patipatiya Atta Vidara Ujemi Maya Dhamma Nu Dhamma Patipatiya Acariye Ujemi Adai Maya Patipataya Ramaranama Parimojayasami Idame Bonyam Asawakaya Waham Adu Idame Silam Megavalanya Pacayadu Imano Punyavagan Tavasadana Dema Sabe Sadam Sukita Ondu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu